Hello YouTubes, and welcome to another edition of The Casual Word. I'm your host Langley, and today we're going to continue with our Quiet Time series. It's for April 17th, 2018. Help hurting people. He who despises his neighbor sins against God, his fellow man, and himself. But happy, blessed, and fortunate is he who is kind and merciful to the poor. That's Proverbs 14:21. Helping the poor and those who are less fortunate than we are is not only a nice thing to do, but according to the Bible, it is our responsibility. God cares deeply for the poor and needy and seems to have a special place in his heart for the widow and the orphan because they are alone and unable to meet all their needs. God gives us heart and compassion, but when needs arise, we can't close our hearts. We need to open our hearts and our hands wide to help the poor. When we give to the poor, the Bible says that we lend to the Lord. Anything we give to help hurting people, God will always return many times over. Not only will he meet our needs, but our joy will increase as a result of giving in love. I urge you to share what you have with those who are less fortunate than you are. The power thought is, I am always merciful and generous to the poor. Again, that's the Power Thought Devotional by Joyce Myers. Now we'll get into our 365 Thou. Activity is essential, but exhausting, and its importance is only on the surface. Withdrawal into Tao, at the end of the day, returning is renewal. Each day is filled with activity. We rush around from meeting to meeting. We make all sorts of arrangements for the future. Such doings are important, but they are not all that there is in life. Even as we engage in them, we must remember that all human endeavors are temporary and provisional. We cannot allow our accomplishments to divorce us from what is actually happening in the world. It is imperative that we withdraw to reflect upon the day's events and collect ourselves for the continuation of our path. There is no need to go to a temple, sacred spot, or special room. We do not need elaborate rituals. All we need is a simple and natural turning within. This is why followers of Tao always use the word returning. They recognize the necessity of activity in life, but they also recognize the need to return. In Tao is the source of all things, and in the source one finds the renewal that one needs to go on with life. This back and forth movement between the source and the activity of life is the movement of all things. Guys, I found these readings especially interesting because they talk about two different aspects of human life and interaction. Here in the Joyce Meyer book, we see that we're talking about giving and helping and doing for others, which is something that you all know that I am avid about. But in the other book, we see that it talks about renewal and drawing back in and taking care of self. And the reason I wanted to bring these to your all's attention is because they work hand in hand. You can't help other people if you are so tired and exhausted and worn out that you can't focus, or your body is so worn out that you can't do anything literally. So it's imperative that we find a balance between taking care of ourselves and taking care of others, because we can't do all of one or all of the other. You can't just take care of people and neglect yourself, and you can't just take care of self and neglect other people. So I want you all to think on that and pray, meditate, study, internalize. How do you find the balance between your personal life, your personal goals, your personal ambitions, and what you need to be doing for other people? Because there are always people who are worse off than you. There are always people who are in need. There are always people who could use a kind word, a smile, if nothing else. There are people who may not need anything from a monetary standpoint or from physical help, but just for you to be in the right place in your spirit to exude a love and a joy that can be absorbed by others. And with that being said, I want to give a big shout out to Sean Statz, staying stirred up. This is a movement that he has created to do exactly what we were talking about today. He's working with other community activists and organizations to build the community up from within. It's about positive peer pressure for our youth, positive peer pressure for our adults in our communities, and how do we hold ourselves accountable to help each other get better. So I am 110% behind this movement. Anything that he needs, I'm going to help him. And I hope that you guys will check out the things that he is doing and get behind this movement as well. Because if we all can work together, then we can all foster and we can all be successful. I'll put a link to his website in the description. Again, this is Stay Stirred Up. It's a movement by Sean Stats. Again, you guys know he's very powerful. He's got a great testimony, a heart for the children, a heart for community, a heart for giving back. So please get behind this movement. Whatever you can do, if you have ideas, if you have people that we can network with, get in touch with us, either of us. I can pass it to him and vice versa. Whatever you guys have to offer, we would love your input. You can email me, thecasualword at gmail.com. Again, you can reach Sean through his website as well. I'll put that in the description. But this is The Casual Word. This is your host, Langley. And until next time, guys, stay blessed, stay encouraged, stay uplifted.